Forrester, one of the honchos for MFP. I'm going to continue my series of Metal on Metal, this time talking more about the Grand Tactical series. This will be the second video looking at Juno Beach. In the first video, I did the initial 700 landing. And this next video, I'm going to do the next turn or two until I can get the beaches cleared. You can watch how I approach that and maybe see if you can pick up a few ideas of how you can clear the beach in your next game as the Canadian player. As I mentioned in the first video, you really want to keep the coastal batteries covered. That's one of the goals of the naval guns. And really important is clearing out these WN units, these Waffennista things here. That one and that one in particular. We don't want to worry too much about this because this doesn't block the beach. To clear the beach, you have to clear out everything within 3 of these hexes. We want to keep losses down and keep up operational tempo. So here we are in the game, and I've already loaded up the chits for polling for this term. We can take a brief look at the command points. I spent some command points to buy dispatch points and use the dispatch points to buy the command chits for the Canadian side. So let's start off to the 700 turn. And it looks like the division will activate first. Let's roll for command points and dispatch points. So we'll add those back in. That's going to be 10 more command points. In a dispatch point, we will add 2 more for that roll. Okay, we still have these things to clear. And this is going to be a little tricky with the divisional activation since we can't really move adjacent to, or you can't move into enemy fire zones. We'll start by firing here. Actually, I did forget to pull off, right, there should be no more barrage markers on there. That was from the last turn. So that was ineffectual. The house cleaning there. In order to keep up tempo, I'm probably not going to spend many, if any, command points. This might strike people as unusual, especially, I never played first edition of the Grand Tactical series, but I know players from the first edition tend to spend a lot of command points because that's how they're used to doing it. They can't save command points for dispatch points like in second edition. Alright, our purple fires can fire during this divisional activation, so we'll start taking pot shots. Maybe we'll get lucky at some point. That's one reason why I run these guys adjacent, these infantry guys. They're quite vulnerable. But since they can fire during the divisional activation, that effectively gives them twice the number of shots per turn. And you'll find when you're clearing the beaches, like I'm trying to do, okay, that's a possible suppression. I've left 2 points with the 7/16 since, and I will spend 1 for that. They definitely don't want that guy to get suppressed, since most of the points will be used over at sword. Gonna continue. Oh, well, you know, we're gonna have to roll for that one. And they are suppressed. Now these guys have already gone this activation, so maybe 7/16 will hope that they're gonna get lucky and that they can go first and unsuppress him. So we'll do that. Some people would try to turn that right into a cohesion hit. I'm gonna, you know, no, but then people can move adjacent, so let's try to turn it into a cohesion hit, and that's successful. Okay, so we have an engineer here which will remove the minefield. He will recover. Recover as well. These folks we can move off. Let me take a look at the terrain. Yeah. Okay, we have an anti-tank gun. Let's try something I've not done. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll move out of column and dismount here. So let's see what else we have. Now, with this variant we're playing, which may become standard rule pretty soon, these units cannot leave this display at all, which makes getting through the town here kind of tricky. You come into here, and a tank that moves here will get sort of stuck there. So I'm not exactly sure I want to put him there. We can do this one though. That might work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, if we do move him in there, it's going to be an opportunity fire trigger. Let's. There's no sense. Plus, it's a divisional activation, so I can't move Jason anyway. So that's not going to worry. All right, we'll bring. Oops, we'll just bring him out of column and dismount him. All right, he's not on their board yet, so. All right, we'll leave him there. Continuing. He will rally. I will spend a command point to fire this tank. I really love firing the Fireflies when you can. They're the hardest hitters that the Canadians have. So we spend a command point, and we will see if we can knock this thing off here. We cannot. All right, we have one here for an attack. Likewise here. I sure like using Vassal for this. I think the amount of ristage would be quite high in a live game. So let's move over to this area. Going to be a whole lot of nothing for these. I don't want to spend command points if I don't absolutely have to. So we get a few pot shots. Okay, now there could be possibly some wisdom to dropping some barrages on these guys just to keep their effectiveness down in case the Germans go next. Whether that's worth the command points or not is really a call. And I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's not. I'm just going to leave them there. And we will see how that goes. So this may be different than many players play this. But like I said, I try to maintain operational tempo throughout the entire morning. And that means not spending command points and trying to be disciplined and just letting my activation chits do the work for me. So we'll call that good for the divisional activation. And I could have used air there, but I decided not to. Next is the naval chit. So we will attack. And here we can drop down our... There's one. Putting down our barrage markers. All right, I must have picked it. I've got 2 left, so let's... This is the 4th. Yeah. Okay, that's a suppression result. And we'll try to convert it. And it is successful. That's 4, and then we get 1 more. And that is a possible suppression as well. Obviously, we're not going to try to convert that one. right, and then we have 2 of these here. And we will apply them to this unit. Here's one of them. And that shouldn't be a -1 on the range, so I'm going to add that back in. It didn't matter anyway, that took care of it. And yes, I probably should have attacked with a boat before I put the battery on it, but such is life. And one more. Let's put it, this one here. All right, there's a cohesion hit. All right. So that's it for the naval bombardment. Now, because the defenses are all 0, I get to just land the guys. And we will land him here. And I'm going to actually land him mounted. We'll put that one there instead. And this one will also land mounted. Okay, we'll drop this one into here. And with that one, let me grab one of these boats. Because we landed within 2, we do get to use him. So he'll attack, and we'll attack this one just for a 0. That's, I guess, about what he needs. Nothing. All right. We'll put him there. I'm gonna go back on that one DD I dropped here. I should have dropped that on the naval, on the coastal gun in the back there to make sure he doesn't fire this turn. So for this turn, there will be no 716 artillery firing on this front. It's either covered by batteries or being used elsewhere. So let's take a 0 for that landing boat to see if it hits WN28 or not. It does not. I think I just landed the no, there it is. And we'll drop this one here. Same roll here for WN29, nothing. And we'll drop another one right on top of it. And rolling again for a 0, nothing. Now we have an engineer. We will drop right here, and it'll roll for a 0 as well, nothing. Now we got to move these units. So pretty much everything's going to want to drop over here. We might want to put this there. But otherwise, I think we'll drop everything over on this flank. All right, that's it for the naval. Next up is 7th Brigade. Okay, I've activated 6 units, so let's go. The tank destroyer will take a shot. Well, actually, let's hold off on that. We might, yeah, that's not what I wanted. We will hold off on the tank destroyer. We will attack with our infantry. Possible suppression. He'll roll for it. He fails. Nothing there. Let's take a shot now. All right, he is eliminated. Okay, he will go 1, 2, and switch in back here, out of column, and take a cohesion hit. This unit will do the same thing. This unit will also move to fire mode, or move out into column. What am I talking about? 2, 3, then out of column, taking a cohesion hit. Since they're in the city there, I don't mind ganging up quite a bit. All right, no lucky one for them. Yeah, we're going to do that. Oh, we'll spend our last point. Nothing there. As you get, it's just volume of fire that's eventually going to win this for the Canadians. All right, lots of no effects. Let's move over here a bit. I think I've got, yeah, we'll use him. I activated that one. Oh, there's our cohesion hit. Bound to happen at some point. All right. Nothing. All right. Yeah, there we go. Now let's use this here. This is going to be a direct fire, so no barrage, unfortunately. Didn't matter anyway. All right. Well, let's try an assault. So he has a defensive -2. He has a defensive -3. He needs to roll a 5 for the bravery check, and he gets it. Opportunity fire. We'll inspect is going to be on a 2. There's nothing there. And, oh yeah, he's down to, well, I'm just going to say that there might be some points in reserve. It's just that the Germans are not going to use them to defend anything except assaults. So we'll just do this as straightforward assault. So he has a 4, 3, 2, 1. A strength of 1 against a -2, so it's 2 zeros. First one, second one, inflicting a cohesion hit. Now we'll roll for company bonus and fail, so just make 2 rolls and see what happens. Both very bad. Defender rolls for 2 zeros. Well, this isn't working out so well. Company bonus is there. Let's take the first rolls, a 9 and a 3. Oh, 3, he's basically a 5, 7, 5. 4, 3, 2, nothing. All right, so that did not work out so well. And we're going to, I don't know if I want to overstack even more against this. It's going to be a +3. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm just going to try to cut my losses a little bit and not overstack too much. Okay, that's it then for that activation. All right, Canadian armor. It's activated. We'll continue. We'll move him to here. That's 1.5. And now we're going to move adjacent. That's going to be an overwatch. An opportunity fire, nothing. And do I want to do even one more? Sure. Just to kind of get him out of the way. So that's 2.5. I could actually run this up behind here and try to assault this, and that actually might be the best way of doing this. Of course, then he'll block this space up by being in column. Pondering. He's got 2 cohesion hits. Yeah, let's try that. He'll leave. It's another opportunity fire. Okay, 3.5. And we can maybe go 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. And then, you know, let's just give it a shot. I'm feeling a little spunky. We will spend 1 command point. And let's make a roll for bravery. It didn't work. All right, that was a waste of a command point after all. So, attacking. Nothing. There's a suppression. He will try to convert it and is successful. We'll keep up the volume of fire. Nada. Let's see if the big guy can do it. Not this time. Probably should have done that first. Well, I'm laughing. It's ironic that we wanted a heavy barrage that lowers morale, but now we eliminated him, so it's just going to give us problems getting through that hex. So it's a mixed blessing using artillery against that. Well, I did need him out of there, so that's the way it goes. Okay, he can actually take a pot shot over here then. Going to be super low odds. Well, I guess not that low odds. Okay, so yeah, he'll just move down to here. And we'll take a shot here. There's a cohesion hit, and that is enough to do it. Let's get him to the graveyard. There we go. So I think that's everybody. It sort of took all our activations to do that, but that opened up that flank quite a bit. And by the way, the Ukrainians are assumed to have retreated. As you have noticed from my other videos, I don't like defending up front with the Germans. I think that just gets them wiped out before they can really do much of anything. Royal Marines. This is basically just going to be attack, 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 attack. There's a cohesion hit, and that took him out. Volume of fire. All right, those gaps are open, so 1, 2, 3, 4, take a cohesion hit. Second action on a 5. He will assault. He's a -1, that's -2, so he needs to roll something like that. Here we have opportunity fire on a 1, so he'll get it. He needs a 0 to eliminate this thing. And didn't get it. That's going to be a... Let me calculate that again, because I didn't do the fire zone to fire zone modifier. It still didn't matter. All right, so he's gone. There's a couple places you can put the Marines. I kind of like putting them here because this is usually the toughest nut to crack. Now, if you've noticed, we've done it. We've cleared the beach. I don't even have to play out more after this. We took care of those, and all 3 of these are gone. So this is an 0900 clearing. I didn't advance it to 0900, I don't think, but well, this is from the last game I was playing with this setup. So we can end it right here. I don't have to go on. That, I would say, was a pretty fast clearing, but my approach, as you see, is to preserve command points and just use my unit activations to not get into too much of a rush. I don't want to spend too many command points. It all works out in the end. Just try to use the force of all those activation chits. I bought all 3, so that means 3 times extra 6 units of activation, and pounding away with that infantry during the divisional activation and all that. That will finally add up. You'll roll enough zeros to get the job done. In sum, as I have here, the message is always mind your tempo. My big piece of advice is to be patient and don't waste those CPs. Really think carefully about whether to use them or not. They're fun to do. You saw me doing the last activation. I charged up for an assault. That was against my own advice. I probably should have just left well enough alone and let the volume of fire take its toll.
I fight with fire, fussing with fear. We also die.